Hi everyone, I'm Rosemary, and in today's video we have some quick and easy and natural and neutral ideas for centerpieces and other greenery to help you welcome guests and entertain this holiday season. We'll be keeping it budget friendly by pulling out our stash of picks, stems, and garlands from years past and reworking some older pieces, as well as make use of free tree cuttings we picked up at Lowe's and our local fresh Christmas tree lot. We will also be making use of common household items you probably already have on hand, plus items from your cabinets like glasses, vases, candlesticks, and cake stands. And to keep it even more simple and budget friendly, we'll be taking existing decor pieces and just adding a little holiday flair to not only cut down on cost, but also your stress and time as you prepare to welcome guests. To start, I'd like to show you how we reworked this teardrop pine and pine cone hanger that I've had for years. It's been stuffed in the bottom of a storage bin for multiple seasons now, and has even had pieces cut off to enhance other arrangements. But I think this year is its time to shine again. So while Nikki worked on reattaching the cut pieces, I went to work on the bell and berry doorknob hanger that I originally used to decorate this teardrop piece. As you can see, it's seen better days, so I went ahead and removed the bow and berries and changed out the rust bells with these mini ornament antique brass bells that I picked up at Walmart. For the bow, we decided to go two-tone with a satin ribbon in this spice brown and a thin strip of ivory velvet ribbon on top. A quick and easy makeover to take this frosted pine teardrop hanger out from the bottom of the bin and also out of the 1990s. We don't have to go back quite as far for the next makeover. In fact, it's just from earlier this year that we DIY'd this hurricane candle holder for a video last fall. I removed the fall stems and I'm going to replace them with pieces of this pretty neutral toned Christmas pick, but instead of the white berries that come with it, I'm going to use these berries that are in a sage and taupe color. I pulled the pick apart and then slid pieces down the sides between the flameless candle that I had placed on a small dish to get that extra height and the glass. I continued to add pieces of the pick and then the taupe and sage berries, repeating the pattern all the way around. A ribbon of ivory velvet adds the perfect holiday touch, making this arrangement a beautiful centerpiece for our entry table. Moving on to the console table, we chose to line a thrifted dough bowl with some fresh Christmas tree cuttings. Now, we're picking these up at Lowe's. You just go to that area where they cut the fresh trees and ask if you can have the cuttings that they trim off the trees when they package them up. And they're usually more than happy to give them to you, as that cuts down on the trash that they have to take out. Then on top of that, we're going to arrange some pine cones that we again have had for years, but of course that wonderful cinnamon scent has long since evaporated, so we're just going to add some cinnamon essential oil to recreate that wonderful aroma. So as you can see by now, we've decided to go natural and neutral with our decorating this year, which is handy because that's our style for the rest of the year as well. For example, here are the shelves in our family room decorated with plenty of natural and neutral decor pieces, many of which you probably recognize if you watch this channel as decor pieces I have previously DIY'd. And all we're going to do here is just add a little holiday flair to these pieces. We'll start with this pom-pom vase that is a dupe of an anthropology piece. It usually holds bamboo, but for Christmas we changed it out with a couple of tall stems picked up from a end of season clearance a few years back. Nikki just bent the bottom of the stem around and stuck it in the vase. She did the same with the second stem and then filled it with some of the fresh Christmas tree cuttings. And then that's it. A quick and easy Christmas refresh, which looks great on our shelf, but would also look fabulous on a buffet, console, or sofa table as well. We continue to make similar changes to the other items on the shelf. For the basket of moss balls next to the West Elm dupe, Nikki cut up some pieces of a wintry stem and stuck them between the balls. She then wrapped the twine around the top of the basket and hot glued pine cones to the ends. For one of the small plants, she kept the greens the same, but wrapped the container with twine that had brass jingle bells tied to the end. For the other plants, she changed out the existing greens for some more festive Christmas offerings. As for the duo of candles, Nikki first created a ring of greens from a juniper pine stem. She removed the leaves from the stem and hot glued them together, and then wrapped it around the base of the tall candle. For the smaller candle, she took leaves from the same stem and hot glued them right to the side of the jar, then wrapped it with twine. For the planter on the bottom shelf, Nikki attached an adorable pair of skis ornament using double-sided mounting tape, effortlessly turning the everyday planter into something special for the holidays. As for the restoration hardware dupe on the top shelf, we thought about putting a Christmas hat on it, but decided that replacing it with this Dollar Tree DIY boho tree was a better choice. And then here are the other decor items dressed in their holiday best and put back on the shelf. To the side of the shelves, we have a basket chest that we usually keep a potted plant on, but decided to change it out for some of those cut Christmas greens that I placed in a gallon-size mason jar that I happened to find in the shed attic of our house. To that, Nikki added a bow in this beautiful spice brown, then slid a piece of twine through the middle and hot glued a set of wood snowflakes to the ends. And then there you have it, a quick, easy, and mostly free, beautiful way to add some Christmas greenery to your home. It makes a great centerpiece as well and smells great too. If you've watched my channel in the past, you know I'm a fan of the long, skinny centerpiece. I think they're so simple and elegant and practical, especially for a long table. I made this one years ago for my patio out of paint sticks, Dollar Tree beads, and recycled bottles, but have used it indoors and out through the years for multiple occasions. In this Christmas version, I replaced the summer greens with some of those Christmas tree clippings, as well as lavender and mountain laurel clippings from my yard. I filled in around the votives with berries and pine cones for an extra festive touch. Nikki then added a strip of the ivory velvet ribbon around the bottles that had the Christmas tree clippings, then took a brass bell and hot glued it to the ribbon. What a beautiful centerpiece, and who would believe it's made mostly from paint sticks, Dollar Tree beads, recycled bottles, and free clippings from both my yard and Christmas tree clippings from Lowe's. And you can still make a lovely centerpiece with no base at all. In this version, I laid the greens directly on the surface and then filled juice glasses from my cabinet with white northern beans to serve as taper candle holders. Simple, elegant, and lovely, and again, almost free. Another favorite DIY of mine that I love to change out for the different holidays and seasons is this candle holder that I made several years ago for a fall decor video. To change it out, all I need to do is remove the fall berries and candle, and I'm all set for the next holiday. For Christmas, I'll be adding some mini pine cones and faux pine, as well as a Merry Christmas mini ornament. For the candle, I'll be recycling this jar from an old jar candle, to which I'll be adding a spice-colored ribbon and bow. Nikki then glued the mini ornament to the center of the bow and cut the ribbon tails. She then added the faux pine and pine cones. After that, we felt like it still needed a little brightening, so we added some berries as well. And then wow, with just a few substitutions and additions, we have a whole new decor piece, ready to dazzle guests this holiday season. Our next set of arrangements is more of a full display, but you can certainly use ideas or a portion of it to create a smaller centerpiece. For this one, we're pulling out our cake plates, candlesticks, and vases, our collection of bottle brush trees, and more pine cones, and our set of little houses from Dollar Tree that were previously painted white in, you guessed it, a previous DIY. Years ago, I saw a Christmas Village under glass display by the Pixie Dust Housewife channel, and I loved it and always wanted to do one. So here's our version, and I'll provide a link in the description to the original. We started by placing a snow blanket on the surface. Next, we sprinkled on some Epsom salt to give a 3D snowy effect. Next, we arranged our cake plates, candlesticks, and vases on top of the snow blanket. For the clear vases, we added some pieces of the snow blanket to the center, except for one of the vases where we decided to add some greenery instead. We then sprinkled some more Epsom salt on top of all of our surfaces. Next, we placed the trees. Some of the trees were placed on the cake stands and candlesticks, while others were placed on the snowy surface directly. To give our pine cones a snowy feel, first we painted the edges with white craft paint and then sprinkled some Epsom salt onto the wet paint. We placed 3 of the frosted pine cones onto the small cake plate. Next came the houses, and we spread those across the display, placing some high and some low. Then came my favorite part, putting some of our little scenes under glass to create a snow globe effect. We used the cake plate domes where we had them, and where we didn't, we created them out of turned upside down vases. To give the vases more of a lid look, we added some of those frosted pine cones to the top as knobs. To further enhance the cake plate domes, we added a couple of the brass bell mini ornaments from Walmart. And then a few more of the frosted pine cones completed the scene.
Well, we hope you have enjoyed these quick and easy, natural and neutral ideas for centerpieces and other greenery this holiday season. Thank you all so much for supporting our channel this year. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy 2023. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.